What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about why I stack silver, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for weekly videos. Brand new one over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to help support the channel by getting some DYDSS merchandise, of course we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a bunch of other merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, a whole bunch of gear, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Any and all merch can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. But today I wanted to talk about why I stack silver, what got me started, what got me interested, and what kept me going. And I put out a video similar to this 7, maybe 8 months ago, but obviously as time goes by you learn more and more, and sometimes I like to take my more interesting videos and remake them with added points. So here we go. What is silver to me? Is it an investment? Is it something that I do as a hobby? Is it a coin collection? I don't view it as any of those things. It is strictly a physical savings account, and we're going to get into that. But I was actually first introduced to silver several years ago, and I've been stacking for just under 2 years. But I was introduced to silver probably 4 or 5 years ago. When I was first introduced to it, I invited a friend of mine out who I grew up with, but as we grew older, he moved out of state, and then when we became adults, I kind of reconnected with him. I think it was via Facebook or something, and I said, hey, a bunch of guys that you went to school with me, we started a little business together. Next time you're in New Jersey, why don't you come check it out? We can hang out, we can show you everything that we have going on. Sure enough, he came out one day, I showed him what we were doing, how we were making money, and he told me, he was like, that's actually pretty interesting. I don't really necessarily do anything other than work my job to make money, but I do something a little bit unusual to save money. And I was like, well, what's that? And he was like, I got some silver coins, some silver bars. I don't remember how much he had at the time, maybe just a couple 100 ounces. And I thought it was pretty interesting. He said it's cool, it's like, it's more discreet, it's not with a bank, it's not with any other entity, it's something that he has on his own, it's something that he does privately to save money. And he was telling me the importance of measuring your wealth in ounces rather than dollars, and the reason that came about was because he was telling me how many ounces he had. Let's just give it an arbitrary number, let's just say 500 ounces of silver. I said, wow, 500 ounces of silver. At the time I had no idea what that meant. I said, how much is that worth? He said it's worth about 500 ounces of silver. I was like, yeah, but like in dollars, how much is it worth? And he's like, I don't know, I don't really care. I don't measure my wealth in dollars. Dollars is fiat. Dollars are currency. I measure it in ounces. It's 500 ounces. That's how much it's worth. And I understand that now, but 4 or 5 years ago, he was pretty much speaking Chinese to me. I had no idea what that meant. And I thought it was really interesting. I did a little bit of research on it, and I thought it was really cool. It fascinated me, and I don't know why I did not get started. I think I was just so preoccupied with everything else I was doing. I was very distracted, and I was very focused on, you know, my other little projects that I had going on. And sure enough, a couple years later, I talked to him again, and I was like, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about it. I think I want to start getting some silver. And then I went onto this website, you may or may not have heard of it, it's called YouTube, and I started typing in how to get silver, what is silver, the importance of silver, and I started watching a couple other YouTube channels, some of the top dog stackers out there, and I learned a lot. I did not understand the difference between a coin and a round at the time. I didn't know why, you know, government minted bullion had a higher premium than generic silver bars. I didn't even really know what a premium was at the time. I didn't really know what I was doing. All I wanted was to get started, and I wanted to figure out exactly the best way to go. And that's exactly what I did. I got a lot of my information from YouTube, and then I went on over to a coin shop and picked up my very first ounce of silver. Shortly after, I think just a few weeks after, I went on to one of the more notable online precious metal dealers websites, and I converted some more dollars into silver. The following month I did the same thing, but that time I added a little bit of gold, I added a little bit of copper, and that's kind of, I chilled out with the gold and the copper for a while, and then pretty much every month, sometimes 2, maybe 3 times a month, I would pick up a handful of silver. And that's pretty much how I got started, and we're coming up on the 2-year stackiversary, I believe, next month. So it was pretty interesting, but to me, do I view it as something that I'm investing in? No, absolutely not. I don't think that stacking silver is an investment. Some people do. You're more than welcome to call it that if you want. I personally don't want to call it that because I don't believe you can convert dollars into another type of money / currency and call it an investment. If I were to go to Canada and trade my US dollars for Canadian dollars, that's not necessarily investing in Canada. It's just a conversion. Not to mention, your silver coins don't pay dividends, so I don't view it as an investment. Is it a coin collection? To me, no. I do not collect coins. I don't really care much about many different types of coins out there. I know a lot of people think it's really cool. I probably would say that my stack is a little bit more on the boring side because 9 times out of 10, I stack the same coins every single time I convert my dollars into silver. I get primarily almost all American Eagles. Sometimes I'll throw in some Canadian Maple Leafs, and as of this year, every single time that I convert my dollars into silver, I'll throw in $1 face value of 90% junk constitutional silver, just to diversify, just to have silver on a quote-unquote fractional level rather than a 1/10 of an ounce or a quarter ounce or a half ounce silver round or bar with an insane through-the-roof premium. I would rather do it with government-minted coins, even though it's not pure silver. So to me, it's a physical savings account. If you have X amount of ounces saved up over a long period of time, that's really not too much different than having a bank account, except with a bank account, if the bank is closed, you can't get inside, you can't get access to your money. Of course, there are ATMs, but there have been situations, for example, Hurricane Sandy, where I was not able to access the money in the ATM because there was no electricity, there was no power. The ATMs were down, the bank was closed, and pretty much my town and the surrounding neighboring towns had no access to their money, or their currency, I should say. And it was a very scary situation. And I remember what it was like to see people, pulling up to a grocery store in their Escalade and having to steal a loaf of bread because they did not have the dollars on hand. They did not have the money, the fiat, the currency on hand. It was all on a debit card. But the debit card was, at that point, garbage, useless. They might have had $1 million in the bank. But without access to the bank, you're essentially broke. And I remember how crazy that was, and that's one of the reasons that I kind of also view silver as financial prepping. And plus, not to mention, silver has room to grow and perform over time. In the past, silver has gone to $30, $35, $40, $45, $50 in the past. Metaphorically speaking, if it happened yesterday, it can happen again tomorrow. So the way I see it is, if I can save my money, and then maybe one day in the future, spot price doubles, triples, maybe even quadruples over time, you've made some gains there and you didn't even mean to. So that's just the way I see it. It's a hedge against inflation. It's a way to preserve your wealth. It's a physical savings account, and it's financial prepping. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what does silver mean to you? Why is silver important to you? What is silver in your life? What role does it play? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe for new videos every single day, 365 days a year. We talk about all things money. We talk about silver. We talk about gold. We talk about industries out there where a lot of money is being made. And occasionally we'll even talk about sports betting. Link will be in the description. Go check out those videos. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies which are up for grabs, and we have a bunch of other designs which have been up for grabs for a long time now, many of which are actually raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, when were you introduced to silver? How old were you, or how many years ago were you first introduced to silver? Did you start stacking right away, or did it take you a little while to actually want to pull the trigger like it was for me? And what role does silver play in your life? Do you view it as an investment? Do you view it as a coin collection? Or are you doing it for reasons similar to why I'm doing it for, to preserve my wealth, to have a physical savings account rather than keeping my dollars in the bank? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.